Hello, YouTube. I'm Dr. Tactical. Welcome to Baltimore County, Maryland in mid-October. I was actually planning on shooting this indoors in the Dr. Tactical studio. However, it's just too freaking gorgeous. So we're outside, even though I've already winterized the pool. It's just too nice to be indoors on a day like this. So, as many of you know, I have been going through quite the revolver phase. I haven't given up on my other guns, still love them all, but I'm really getting into the whole revolver thing and using them as carry guns, or at least auxiliary carry guns, or backup carry guns, if you will. And I most recently got my hands on, this is the Smith & Wesson / Lipsey 632 UC. The UC stands for Ultimate Carry. Question is it? Let's find out. I'm Dr. Tactical, and the doctor will see you now. Welcome back to the channel. And those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. I hope you like what you see, and if you do, please hit that like button. Also, I would greatly appreciate it if you considered subscribing. It really helps when you subscribe. So all you've got to do, hit the subscribe button and you're in. Also, hit the notification bell. It'll let you know as more content like this becomes available. Now, if you've already subscribed, do not hit the subscribe button because apparently that unsubscribes you. But just look at it. If it gives you the option to hit subscribe, that means you're not subscribed, and I would really appreciate it if you did. It really helps us to get content out there. Okay, today we are looking at the 632 UC. The UC stands for Ultimate Carry. This is a collaborative project that was done between Smith & Wesson and Lipsey, and they call it the UC, meaning Ultimate Carry, and the question is it? That is a bold statement, Ultimate Carry. Did they earn that statement? Well, let's dive into it. Well, did they earn it? First of all, let's look at MSRP. They kept this gun under $800. That is really impressive because as I go through this part by part, those of you who are familiar with revolvers, and especially some of the higher end revolvers, will appreciate what they're giving you for this price. It is absolutely a good deal. So from that standpoint, you know, they've done a really good job keeping the cost point where it is. All right, the sights. Let's talk about the sights on this thing. The sights are really wonderful for what they are. The purpose of these sights is to use as a self-defense weapon. This is a concealed carry gun. So you want to be on target quickly. What they've done is they've pinned a excess dot on the front of it. So what you have is this large green circle with a tritium insert. So you've got the night sight effect. But the green circle is very visible and draws your eye right to it. It is not fiber optic. It is just bright. The rear sight is dovetailed. It is a blacked out U-notch, and it is serrated. I've got the sun coming directly down into my face right now. I'm putting it on here, and with the sun reflecting off the back of it, the light is being diverted or refracted in such a way that it's not getting to my eyes at all. I can easily see that green dot right in it, and I have a great sight picture. So this is a far cry from the gutter sights that we've become accustomed to on a lot of revolvers. Really nice job, Smith & Wesson and Lipsey. Okay, that's the sight. So the grips. These are VZ grips. They're G10. They have finger grooves. They do not have any stippling or any real texture. They have a pattern, which I think is really more a result of either the machining or the 3D printing or however they make these things. So there is something there, but it's not really what I would call texture to give you more grip. However, this is shooting a 32 H&R Magnum at its highest caliber, its highest power. So you're not talking about a gun that's going to have a lot of recoil. And I will tell you, after having put several hundred rounds through this thing, it's fun to shoot. It really doesn't kick. This does not hurt my hands. The grip fully covers the back strap, and it's also beautiful. It's a really good-looking grip. Not that that's important for a carry gun, but you know what is important? The fact that it doesn't have that aggressive texturing means that when I carry it, like I'm carrying right now this Kimber, this is the K6XS, and this is in a Falco leather holster that has a wing that rotates this into my body. Now I'm wearing it on the outside so you can see, but this thing disappears when I wear it on the inside. And this is a rubberized grip, which, you know, I'm shooting 38 plus P out of this, or plus P plus. So when I do that, I want something that's going to help me take some of the blow. But anyway, my point is that rubber grips can sort of make your shirts move around in funny ways and draw attention with printing, and aggressive texturing can actually damage shirts, clothing, and as well as you. It can rub up against you, where this I can press right up against me. It's smooth as can be, and the shirts just sort of glide on it just naturally. So there really isn't any additional printing from it. So I really am a fan of this grip. One of the other big changes on this is the trigger. That it's gotten a lot of, I want to say, some ambiguous comments on it. And what I mean by that is, I don't want to say false, but there's a lot of information out there that's really not accurate. We'll go with that, not accurate. In fact, I saw one video that was shot at SHOT Show 2024, where the representative who was there presenting this gun, I think he misrepresented it. And let me explain. Because this is a Smith & Wesson. You know, Lipsey worked with them, and they did what's called a, how did I see it said? It was said as trigger geometry. They changed the trigger geometry. What does that mean? Well, this guy I saw on YouTube from SHOT Show said they changed the trigger geometry and they changed out the springs. Well, again, this is a Smith & Wesson, so I want to know, what did they do that's different than, say, Performance Center? Because Performance Center does a job on the gun, and specifically also on the trigger. So I wanted to find out. So I called Lipsey directly, and I was very lucky. They put me in touch with a gentleman there, Dale, and as the salesman who put me in touch with them informed me, Dale apparently is one of the people who helped to design this gun. So you really had a good understanding of it. And when I asked him about the trigger geometry, what he told me was that what they did is they basically did a very high-end trigger job on it. They polished all the parts. So when you get a trigger, most guns out of the box, the parts that, you know, are all part of the trigger or the firing system have a roughness to them. They've got grit. There's just stuff there that gets worked out over hundreds, maybe thousands of rounds shot through. The trigger gets better and better and better and smoother, all the parts. Well, they start right out there. So having a trigger job where everything's been smoothed up starts you right at a point where you really have a nice, you know, nice trigger pull. You can stage this. So I'm a fan. I like this trigger a lot. But the gentleman in the video was not correct, because according to what I heard from Dale, they do not change the springs. There's nothing special about the springs in this versus a J-frame. They are the standard springs, as opposed to, I'm not sure about the Performance Center, but I'm pretty sure Performance Center does change out the springs, as well as probably some other things too. Also, I want to point out that all the pins in this are titanium. Those are the big differences, is that when they say the geometry, they're really talking about smoothing the parts and getting a better result. This gun, this particular model, is the 632 UC. I've said that a couple times, meaning that it is, it's a 32 H&R Magnum is the highest power that it shoots. And because of that, it holds 6 rounds. Now, they also make a 38, I think, plus P version of this, but it holds 5 rounds. In fact, here are the options that they have available in this. There's 4 different options. As a J-frame, this gun actually is compatible with a lot of holsters. I have here a holster that was made for me by Falco. This is at my shoulder holster for the Kimber K6S 3-inch. So they make a 2-inch of this as well. And then, of course, we have the Kimber K6XS, which is a 2-inch, but that's in 38. The other's 357. The J-frame fits in this Ultimate Carry perfectly, and is really a very comfortable gun, tucks completely out of the way. I love this holster because when I draw, it holds vertically, so I'm not worried about flagging anybody, and I'm not worried about bending over and anything coming out, because gravity's on my side. But when I want to draw, it rotates, and I can pull. And I love the leather Falco holster when it comes to just sort of tucking it out of the way, and it's very comfortable. Now, when it comes to Kydex, I have to tell you, this was made for my K6XS because they don't make a 3-inch. This is a Harry's holster, and they have their own unique little proprietary wing system, which works incredibly well. So if you're going Kydex, this fits the Kimber really nicely, and it fits the J-frame really nicely, even though this was made for the Kimber. And I just have to say, this tucks out of the way really beautifully too. So I go sort of back and forth depending on what I'm wearing and if I'm in a Kydex mood or a leather mood. We're not going to get into what a leather mood means. All right, it's not that kind of show. It's a family show. I do a lot of the time, probably most of the time, carry pretty much all of these in a pocket holster. And this is the Barsony pocket holster. It has sort of a suede strap around it that gives it friction. So when it's in the pocket, it just sort of, the material just sort of holds it in place and really nicely tucks it out of the way and breaks up the pattern. This actually works on all the guns I have here, which are my Kimbers, my Colt Cobra, as well as my Ruger LCR. So I like that a lot. I do also have this Kimber. I bought this when I got the Kimbers. This is made by DeSantis. It's a Kimber holster for the 3-inch, the K6S. This is really sort of a disappointment, I have to say. I do not like the flexibility. I thought I would love this because I thought it would allow me to tuck the shirt in around it because that's important to me for concealing. But it's so flexible that when you try and draw, this holster goes all over the place and it's hard to actually get the gun out. So that's my 2 cents on that one. Anyway, let's get back to, is this the ultimate carry? Well, first, let's ask something even more important. Is this gun Dr. Tactical approved? Yes, it is. Okay, so nothing else really even matters, but we'll address the ultimate carry thing. So here's my take on this. Ultimate carry doesn't mean the best. Ultimate carry means they can't do anything better. They can't do anything more for this gun to make it better. But again, that doesn't make it better than these guns. It's with what they have and what they're working with this size, is this the ultimate? Is there something more that can be done to improve upon it? And I would say, is there anything more I want on this gun? Well, I am constricted, as are they, by the parameters of physics. So in other words, as long as I have to abide by the laws of physics, I do not think there's anything better they can do. What else do I want on this gun? I want to shoot higher calibers. I want no recoil, and I want it to hold 20. That would be great. However, given the confines of the laws of physics, I don't think they could do any better, and therefore I do think they have the right to call this the ultimate carry gun. So kudos. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you agree with me, please comment down below. If you disagree with me, you probably already have commented down below, but if not, please do so. I really want your input. Thank you for watching. I'm Dr. Tactical. Dr. Tactical, out.